Welcome to chair yoga. And as you can see, I'm not in a chair right now, but I do have my chairs close by, and I'll talk about that in a second. There are many poses that we do on the floor in yoga that are beneficial for the backs of the legs and for the lower back. So I'd like to show you one or two of them right now, and then we'll transition into the chair and take this practice to our chair yoga. So the first one I want to show you is just this, our staff pose. So we want our hips under our shoulders, and then we want a slight tuck in that chin so our ears are over our shoulders. And then from here, there are several poses that further develop that back side of the body. The first one would be just a forward fold, in yoga called Paschimottanasana. So we roll the shoulders down the back and we keep a little bit of squeeze in the back, and we can just slide our hands down our shins, down to our shins, or along the floor, walk them out a little bit and bring the chest forward. In doing so, we start to feel a deep stretch in the back of the legs and in the lower back. And you only want to come to a point where you feel that pull, that stretch, that tension, because then you stay and you hold and you breathe. So I'm going to transition from here to our chair practice today. So I'm going to take my feet to one side. I'm going to come up onto hands and knees. Then pushing into the floor, I'm going to bring one foot forward, bring my hands to that thigh, turn the back toes under, and push myself off the floor. So beginning our chair practice today, we have two chairs, one facing the other. And the first thing I'd like to do is talk about strengthening the shoulders a little bit with some push-ups. So you can take the feet, a little about foot apart here, feet on the floor, so adjust yourself so your feet are on the floor. Draw your shoulders back, pull your belly in, and sit tall. And then from here, bring your hands to the chair in front of you, lift your hips, come forward a little bit, and then press down through your arms, keeping the elbows close to the body, and push yourself off that chair. This is a great exercise to strengthen the upper shoulders here. Keep the back relatively neutral, or even bring the shoulders together along the spine a little bit. Slight tuck of the chin, and you just go up and down, move with your breath. Exhale here, inhale as you come down. As I said, elbows close to the body. And after you've done about 5 or 10 of those, you sit up slowly, walk your hips back first, and then bring your hands back. So remember that Tadasana on the floor. Well, this is how we're going to do it in our chairs. So I have my chairs pretty far apart. I'm going to bring the back chair in. Now I have my chairs anchored on a mat because I don't want them to slide on me. So if you're on hardwood floors and you've got some felt on the bottom of your chairs, you want to anchor them on something that's going to prevent them from sliding. If you don't have a mat, you can put one chair against a wall. Bring one foot up. Keep it bent in the knee if you need. Bring the other foot up. Pull the belly in, chest up, shoulders down, and now you two are in that Tadasana pose. And as I said before, slight bend in the knees is a-okay here. And the more you practice this, the straighter your legs will become. They don't ever get perfectly straight. We don't have to strain like that, because then we pull the stretch into the front of the legs. And these exercises are for the back side of the body. Toes are up, and then we're going to come into a forward fold, that Paschimottanasana I talked about. So we walk the hands to our shins and then slide them down. Keep the shoulders pulling back, keep the belly in, chest forward. My eyes are looking at my toes right now. And this is where you get to say, oh, what beautiful toes I have. What strong feet I have. What great ankles. And you just hold this for maybe 4 or maybe 8 breaths. And then when you want to come out of this pose, place your hands on the chairs and push up and come all the way up. Very nice. So now the next pose we're going to do is another forward fold called puppy dog. And again, we want to be sitting all the way back in the chair we're in to anchor ourselves. I've got my knees turned out, my toes turned out, but my feet are still on the floor. I did this so I have room to work with in front of me with the chairs. Take your hands out onto the chair, and this time instead of having them right under your shoulders, you're going to stretch them out. Just like a puppy dog would place his paws in front of him, and then he arches his back a little bit and he lowers his chest down between his arms. Again, a slight tuck in the chin will take that stretch right up into the back of the neck. And again, hold here for 4 breaths. And the breath here should be even. So if you find that you're holding your breath, maybe you need to come up a little bit. Just keep that in mind too. And then to come out of this, we want to round the shoulders, release that tension, and walk it back and up. Now another good forward fold is called dolphin. Very similar to what we just did, except the whole forearm is going to be on the chair. So we bring both forearms to the chair, spread our fingers, and then lift this time the heart forward as if you're trying to reach your wrists. Chin slightly tucked. Don't allow your hips to come off the chair behind you, so really press those feet into the floor. Anchor yourself. Push the hips back and lengthen through the back side of your body. Hold and breathe once you're here. Feeling it in the shoulders, feeling it in the lower back. And again, no pain, just a nice stretch. On your next exhale, slowly release all that work. Walk the hands back and up. Now for the next pose, I'm going to bring the chair just a little bit closer. So I have about 4 inches here. And I'm going to bring one leg up on the chair. Again, it can have a slight bend in the knee or it could be relatively straight. Toes are up. We want the toes to go towards the ceiling because that's going to make sure that the leg is in correct alignment. Doesn't have to push out here because we're using the chair today. The chair is supporting us. And then we want to come into what's called head to knee pose. But I call it chest to thigh pose. So I bring this other foot carefully underneath me and I put the foot on the pinky side. I'll move the chair here just a little bit so you can see my foot is turned so that the sole of the foot is off the floor. I'm on the pinky side of my foot, and then I let my knee fall out to the side. Now, if your chair is a little high, which this one is for me, you might separate the chairs a little bit more, but make sure that that whole bottom part of your leg is supported. Leaning that knee out, you start to get a stretch in the side. And to come into head to knee pose, you merely walk the hands out like you did for our puppy dog, and just bring that chest forward. Resisting, pulling the belly back, pulling the shoulders back to resist in the opposite direction. Getting the full benefit of a deep stretch in the back of that leg. And again, a slight bend in the knee if it's pulling too much for you is perfectly okay. Actually a good adjustment. Toes are up, and we hold and we breathe. And we think about breathing right into the back of that leg so that we get that great stretch and we draw the prana, the energy, into the back of the leg. And when you're ready to come up, you simply walk it back and up. Now, I'm going to take my foot off. And before I go to the other side, I'm going to do one more. I'm going to offset the chairs. So now this front chair in front of me is off to the side, about 4 inches. Not too much. Now when I bring my leg up, I can take the leg out into an angle. And we sit tall. And we're going to take this to a twist. So I've got that leg that's on the chair, that hand is on the shin. I'm going to take that hand, I can hold the shin, or I'm going to turn my palm towards the inside of the leg. Using this hand, I'm going to just push slightly and turn my chest towards this bent knee that's on the floor. Now I've come into a twist, which is great. And I can start to bend over and bring this shoulder towards that leg. Now, this might be too much, and you can just stay right here and slowly do this, come back to this practice a few times. and practice this pose, head to knee pose. To take it a little further, if you're here, you can take this free arm up to the sky, pull it back a little bit so that you can push the chest forward and up. Notice my arms are in alignment here into a T formation. And then take that palm, turn it to the ceiling and bring it over your ear. You can stay here or deepen it by bringing the body down a little deeper. Some people like to bring it all the way down to their toes. I don't go that far because I lose the integrity of opening through the chest. I like to stay here. And then on an inhale, the top arm comes down first, supported on your thigh as you turn towards the chair in front of you and come all the way up. So now we're going to do head to knee pose on the other side. We bring the other foot up, we bring the bottom foot underneath us and turn the sole of the foot out so that the knee can fall out to the side. Other leg is in front of you. Again, a slight bend is okay. Toes are up to make sure the knee is safe. And then we lift up, draw the shoulders down, and bring our belly towards our thigh, our chest towards our shin. Keep the head up. You want a slight tuck in the chin. That's going to give you that stretch from the tailbone all the way up through the spine. Walk the hands out and bring your chest down towards the leg. Hold here and take 4 breaths. And when you're ready, release all that tension, push with the hands, come all the way up. I'm going to take my leg off the chair, bring the chair over to the side a little bit. So again, it's about 4 or 5 inches off to the side, bring the leg back up. So now, my shin, my back of my leg, my calf muscle is completely supported. My other foot, my other part of my body is in the other chair. The other foot is on the floor and turned out, but now on the outside of the leg of that chair. And then I turn my body, I place the leg that's on the chair, that hand goes on that shin, and we start to draw back the other shoulder. So the shoulders are at an angle towards that leg that's on the chair. Chin, again, slightly tucked. Arm can come up, can stay here. This is great stretch through the chest. It can come over your ear for a deeper stretch in the other side of the body, or it can come down depending on where you want to take your pose today. And hold for 4 breaths. And when you want to come up, you release a little bit in the side body, bring the top arm up and down, press into your thigh, untwist, turn towards the chair in front of you, and bring that leg down. Take a nice deep breath here. Now, the last pose is our twist. 6 poses were forward folds. Now we're going to turn this front chair around, and you want it pretty far away from you. The arms, I say maybe, whoops, the chairs are sticking, an arm's length away so that you have room to move. And again, I have my knees wide so that I have lots of space in front of me. Placing one hand on the chair, keep the shoulders down your back, belly in. Take this other hand, let it dangle for a moment. Feel that. Stretch towards the floor. Keeping the arm long, we inhale, turn, lifting the arm out to the side. And how high you lift it is totally up to you, but you're not lifting with the arm. You're not trying to pull the shoulder back. The lift is right here in the core of the body. And then as you exhale, you bring it down, sweep it across the body and over to the other side. This is a nice opening stretch for the shoulder now. Again, lift, inhale, exhale, cross over. We'll do one more on this side. and then release it. Sit tall, take a breath. We'll do the other side. Opposite hand to the chair, nice long arm here, because I bend in the elbows, okay. We bring down the hand that's loose towards the floor, and as we inhale, we take it to the side, we bring it up, twisting in the ribs, keeping the back neutral, chin tucked. As you exhale, you sweep it down, nice big arc here over to the other side. Inhale and lift. Exhale, sweep it down and across. Let's do one more. And then release it center, push up, and come to a seated position in your chair. Feet flat on the floor, body nice and tall, hands resting, and just take a few breaths here. Draw them deep into that belly. Let the body expand in all directions. And enjoy the benefits of stretching out the back body. Namaste.